The Voice's top 8 contestants performed during the first live show of the season on Monday, December 2, with Danny Joseph delivering a top-tier Chris Stapleton cover. Joseph won his battle performance but lost his knockout. However, McIntyre jumped in to use her save on the talented rocker, and he advanced to the playoffs. Then, when it came time to choose the 2 contestants she wanted to take into the live shows, McIntyre named Joseph as one of those contestants. Danny Joseph delivers dynamic cover of Chris Stapleton's "I Was Wrong." Joseph proved himself with his performance during the semi-finals. He opted to cover a Chris Stapleton track, "I Was Wrong." "I Was Wrong" is one of Stapleton's deeper cuts since it was never released as a single. The track appears on his Grammy-winning album From a Room, Volume 1, and was written by Stapleton and Craig Wiseman. The stage was prepared, with the lighting dimmed to a warm amber hue, as a palpable sense of anticipation permeated the live studio audience. It was the top 8 night on season 26 of The Voice, and each performance held significant importance. The pressure was exceedingly intense, with the stakes elevated to an even greater level. However, as the initial somber chords of "I Was Wrong" permeated the atmosphere, Danny Joseph epitomized tranquility. Clad in a robust leather jacket and his distinctive weathered boots, Danny appeared as though he had just emerged from a southern highway and onto the most significant stage of his existence. His voice, simultaneously coarse and smooth, conveyed the initial notes akin to a confession murmured in the stillness of midnight. The composition, a poignant blues country masterpiece by Chris Stapleton, represented a daring selection, one that could only be authentically embodied by an artist of Danny's caliber. From the very first line, the entire studio descended into silence, as though apprehensive of disrupting the enchantment that was unraveling before them. A voice that penetrates deeply. As Danny's voice descended into the profound and poignant depths of the lyrics, the coaches exchanged meaningful glimpses of understanding. Reba McEntire, who had ardently supported Danny from the outset, was already nodding in agreement, her eyes shimmering with emotion. Gwen Stefani leaned in to murmur something to Michael Bublé, both individuals utterly captivated by the moment. In the interim, Snoop Dogg, consistently the unpredictable member of the panel, reclined with his arms crossed, subtly swaying to the rhythm while displaying his characteristic expression that conveys, "I recognize talent when I encounter it." Subsequently, the chorus commenced. Danny was unleashed. His voice ascended, each note imbued with profound anguish and remorse. He was not merely performing the melody, he was embodying it. His tone, husky and fractured, conveyed a narrative of sorrow that transcended the mere lyrics. Reba was the first to rise, applauding as Danny commenced a guitar solo that was profoundly rich and imbued with the essence of the blues, evoking shivers along the vertebrae of the audience. The audience experienced a similar sentiment, erupting into applause during the performance, their enthusiasm invigorating Danny's artistry. The moment that changed everything. At that moment, when it appeared he had expended all his efforts, Danny retracted his contributions. A whisper-sob falsetto note, scarcely more than a breath, incited a frenzy among the throng. The type of incident that distinguishes the great from the legendary. As the last note dissipated, a momentary silence enveloped the space before the room erupted in exuberance. The audience rose to their feet, vociferously chanting his name. The camera shifted its focus to the coaches, all 4 of whom were standing and applauding. Danny Joseph had recently executed one of the most pivotal performances of the season. The coach's response, Snoop Dogg, was the initial individual to disrupt the astonished stillness. "Yo man, that was chilly. I intend this statement in the most positive manner possible. You transformed that composition into a veritable legend. That is the essence of authentic music, and I must commend you for it." Michael Bublé subsequently interjected, shaking his head in astonishment. "Danny, you possess a quality that is exceedingly rare. You have taken a composition that already possessed a profound emotional depth and in some manner rendered it even more heart-wrenching. It was entirely impeccable." Gwen Stefani continued to applaud. "I find myself at a loss for words. That was, in all sincerity, that performance may well have been the finest I have encountered throughout the entire season." You didn't just croon it, you bled it. Reba, who had ardently supported Danny from the outset, was discreetly removing what was undoubtedly not a tear. From the moment I first heard you, I recognized that you possessed a unique quality. However, this evening, you demonstrated that you possess qualities that extend beyond mere vocal talent. You are exceptional. That was unequivocally your finest performance to date. Danny, inundated by the abundant expressions of admiration, could merely smile and shake his head in astonishment. Wow, I find myself at a loss for words. I have great admiration for Chris Stapleton, who serves as one of my foremost inspirations, and I aspired to honor his artistry appropriately. I invested all of my efforts into this song this evening. The audience erupted once more, the palpable emotion lingering in the atmosphere. The aftermath, the emergence of a viral phenomenon. Even prior to Danny's departure from the stage, the internet was ablaze with activity. Excerpts of his performance have already begun to circulate on Twitter, with admirers proclaiming it as one of the most exceptional covers in the history of The Voice. A particular remark stated, "Danny Joseph just destroyed me with that performance. Chris Stapleton would undoubtedly take pride in this. Please secure a contract for this individual immediately." Additionally, could you provide information regarding the performance of That I Was Wrong? Not merely the finest performance of the evening, but the most exceptional of the entire season. Possibly the finest of all time. Danny Joseph is a professional in the field of information technology. The hashtag Danny Joseph on fire began to trend as admirers eagerly sought his Spotify and YouTube links, expressing a strong desire to engage further with the burgeoning talent. Danny's journey, the path forward. As the finale of The Voice approaches, Danny Joseph has firmly established himself as a leading contender for the title. His performance transcended mere vocal ability. It encompassed the art of storytelling, fervent fervor, and a profound connection with the audience. This distinction is what differentiates victors from their counterparts. As he exited the stage, exchanging handshakes with his fellow competitors, Reba leaned towards Michael Bublé and murmured, "If he keeps singing like that, he's gonna win this whole thing." Michael merely offered a look. We may be witnessing the emergence of the next champion of The Voice. Given such a performance, who could possibly contest that assertion? Stapleton performed I Was Wrong live during an appearance on Austin City Limits. The official YouTube video of that performance has over 39 million views. Joseph brought his own style to his rendition of I Was Wrong on The Voice. He delivered a skillful and dynamic cover that earned him a lot of praise from viewers. Some of the comments on the official YouTube video of his semifinals performance include, "Danny, you sound so seasoned that this is a Grammy performance every time you perform. You deserve to win the whole thing. Either way, someone will sign you after seeing you play on here. Doesn't even feel like a competition show. He sounds like a seasoned professional and makes me feel like I'm at his concert. Definitely will win The Voice hands down. Definitely his best performance on this show yet. Very rocking. Danny, this was your best performance. OMG perfection. Best of luck to you."